The Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. From the Jamborees to the Superdome, your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, and Cade Wazan.
Good evening and welcome to the Week 4 edition of Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy.
Oh, Todd,
Coach
wake
Black.
up. Todd,
Coach.
wake up. We on. We're finally on.
What time is it?
11:20.
Game time, baby. AM?
Almost.
It's final. Catholic High falls to St. Thomas More 35-28, now 1-3 on the season. A game that didn't get started until 8:40. Lots of weather delays in the Acadiana area tonight. So that certainly has postponed a lot of things. Our game on Your View tonight, St. Martinville and Westgate. Westgate leads that contest 42-19, just under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. So, without further ado, since we are certainly a shortened show tonight, let's get you right to our first scoreboard update tonight. And we'll start first in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care.
Bel Air is a 33-15 winner over Bruley. Denham Springs 53, Franklinton 28. Plaquemine a 20-15 winner over Ostroma. Santa Maria 28, Opelousas 22. Alexandria is a 21-14 winner over East Ascension. Parkview is a 28-21 winner over Madison Prep. Walker defeats Kentwood 30-8. And St. Helena and Live Oak were canceled.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
Newman defeats Manny 49-31. John Curtis over Jesuit 41-21. Edna Carr and St. Aug are going to play tomorrow night 6:30. St. Charles defeats De La Salle 32-14. Holy Cross is a 49-28 winner over Rummel. Destrehan defeats Hanville 47-11. Lutcher shuts out Vanderbilt Catholic 18-0, and Edie White all over Woodlawn 57-7.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Breaux Bridge and Ascension Episcopal were postponed. Iowa defeats Jennings 35-28. St. Louis Catholic 45, Kinder 20. St. Thomas More defeats Catholic High 35-28. Turlings defeats Notre Dame 34-14. St. Martinville and Westgate are still in the third quarter. Oakdale 44, Grand Lake 38. And Acadiana defeats Lafayette 63-12.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
Sterlington over Carroll 46-6. Franklin Parish 42, Caldwell Parish 7. Haynesville defeats Glenbrook 34-14. Gina 32, Winfield 20. West Monroe defeats Scotlandville 30-12. Brother Martin 31, Ouachita 13. Ruston a 29-26 winner over Lafayette Christian. And Northwood Shreveport 27, Huntington 12.
The North Shore Scoreboard, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Ponchatoula defeats Covington 31-12. North Shore a 23-16 winner over Mandeville. Amite blanks Country Day 39-0. John Arrett a 49-39 winner over Bogalusa. Fontainebleau defeats Hammond 35-34. Northlake Christian 23, Archbishop Hannon 10. St. Paul's a 28-7 winner over Slidell. And St. Thomas Aquinas 29, Laranger 26.
Thank you, Skip. Getting our scores tonight. Behind the scenes, we got Ryan Kennedy producing the program. We got Cassie on video tonight. So let's go ahead and jump on our hotline and join a victorious head coach, Brett Beard from Denham Springs. Coach Beard, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, good to talk to you, boys. It's been a while.
It seems like it's been a while tonight since your game's been over with.
Yeah. No doubt. What did Catholic St. Thomas More end up?
35-28, St. Thomas More. They scored with about 30 seconds left in the
Yeah.
game. About 30 seconds left in the game to go ahead on a
We
real.
got St. Thomas more this week.
Yep, I think we'll probably be there this week. So, Brett, good win tonight. You guys jumped all over Franklinton early and kept the pressure up. I think had gotten to 34-0, I think, at one point. But really good win for your guys.
Yeah, look, we're getting better. I mean, we lost a lot last year. We knew that coming into the season, and had took our lumps in the preseason, and then of course I think Mandeville jumped on us week one and kind of showed us a few things. Also, kind of woke our kids up and then made them realize a few things that we had to get cleaned up going forward. And the last 3 weeks we've gotten better.
Brett, I've seen several interviews with you on your local stuff out there that one of the things you've harped on time and time again is our guys just need to play. Our guys need to play. Even though they may be older guys classification-wise, and I don't know what they are, you lost like your entire offensive line. These guys need to play. Explain what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, I mean, we lost our top 6 O-linemen from last year. And I think we all know as football people, the one position, to replace 2 or 3 of those guys is one thing. To replace 6 is a whole different world because of the trust, the camaraderie that goes into the gelling of the O-line. Because, I mean, they're ultimately what makes you go. They protect your quarterback. They give you a chance to run. They give you a chance to pass. They make your offense go. So our kids really, they got thrust into the fire because none of them, only one of them coming in this year who gets hurt the second series of week one had any experience from last year's team. And so it just kind of, it just set us back a little bit to where our kids just need to play. There's only so much you can do in practice. Like, you can't mimic, girlfriends in the stands, cheerleaders on the sideline, band playing loud, thousands of people yelling. You can't mimic that on top of playing a good football team. Like, you just can't. You can't show them that enough while these kids are getting the quality reps they got to have. And and that's one thing our guys just need to do. They need to not hit the panic button, just play. And you see it every week now. We're getting a little bit better, and that's all I ask of them.
It's not, I think, rocket science. We get frustrated as coaches on situations like this because when they had the opportunity last year to get better, as they were a scout team or whatever it takes, you try to sit there and stress the importance of those reps at that particular time. And it's just something that's hard to do. And if anybody can figure out how to do it and bottle it, they'll make $1 million. That's for sure.
No, there ain't no doubt. And, it's such a senior-heavy class last year, a senior-heavy team. They just had our attention from really day one because we kind of went young. We went real young their sophomore year and just kind of thrust them into the fire and took some with them together. Turn around the second year, even with some injuries, we had a lot of those dudes that were mainstays. And then, last year, I mean, it was just three-year starters playing football. And I don't want to say that we kind of pushed the others aside, but that senior group needed it. They needed a lot of our attention, and they did. They took a lot of our attention because you focus on those dudes that are playing. And this group kind of watched from afar and learned a ton. You can tell the one thing I really like about this group is they kind of take things on themselves. Like, they're not scared to go out and start things, to go out and do things without being told, because they've always just kind of watched from afar and kind of fended for themselves.
Brett, the quarterback Deshaun Goldman has played the last couple of weeks. What's going on with that battle, or is Jerry been banged up a little, or what's going on?
Yeah, he got banged up week one.
Okay.
And you hate a kid losing a job to an injury. I mean, there ain't no doubt about it. But Deshaun Goldman has come in and really has just done an amazing job for us. Just controlling the offense, running the offense, just a very even keel mentality, and really is just really got us going. And there's nothing we can do but continue to work with him and grow him, and see if Jerry Horn, get him healthy and let those two battle it out.
Right. Well, Coach, look, I know it's late. We're going to cut you a little short tonight, but we want to try to get a few other coaches on tonight because we only have about a 30-minute show. But we appreciate you coming on, and more than likely I'll be in touch with you Monday or Tuesday and see you next week.
Good deal.
Congratulations, Brett.
Man, thank y'all.
All right, have a good one.
Y'all too.
What's interesting is, as difficult of a decision for Coach Beard as it might be, sometimes there's a quarterback that's better fit for your team than another. And there's nothing negative about either one of them. It's just sometimes if you're a throwing quarterback and you don't have the guys on the perimeter you need to make the throwing game tick, maybe you need to make an adjustment, and things happen kind of for a reason.
Or if the offensive line maybe is struggling to come along, you need somebody a little more mobile. Or something like I know that can be a tough thing. We were listening to the scores as Skip was reading them, and I look at this as a hats off to Bel Air. That surprised me, 35-15 over Bruley. I know they're going through a lot, those two schools. We talked to Port Allen this week. But just a surprising result because
they're struggling.
Yeah.
Bruley's struggling.
So we'll take a timeout. We'll get right back here to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard. This is the Week 4 edition. We're presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Don't have time for a stomach virus?
I don't have time to be sick today.
When you're sick after hours or weekends, you don't have time to wait around. Save time and money and feel better faster with Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Step inside an Infiniti QX50, and you'll find a suite of driver-focused features tailored to your tastes. But most of all, you'll find luxury that lets you feel infinitely you. Visit your local Infiniti retailer today.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Mom, what's for breakfast? Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote the Terrier, the Tiger, and the Wildcat. Louisiana Prep Scoreboard with Cade, Todd, and Jimmy. Presented by Lake Urgent Care on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. The Capital City Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care.
Bel Air defeats Bruley 33-15. Denham Springs is a 53-28 winner over Franklinton. Plaquemine defeats Struma 20-15. Sandoval over Opelousas 28-22. Alexandria is a 21-14 winner over East Ascension. Parkview is a 28-21 winner over Madison Prep. Walker defeats Kentwood 30-8, and St. Helena and Live Oak were canceled.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
Newman defeats Manny 49-31. John Curtis over Jesuit 41-21. Edna Carr and St. Olga play tomorrow night at 6:30. St. Charles defeats De La Salle 32-14. Holy Cross is a 49-28 winner over Archbishop Rummel. Destrehan 47, Hanville 11. Lutcher blanks Vanderbilt Catholic 18-0, and Edie White all over Woodlawn 57-7.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Breaux Bridge and Ascension Episcopal is postponed. Iowa a 35-28 winner over Jennings. St. Louis Catholic defeats Kinder 45-20. St. Thomas More 35, Catholic High 28. Turlings is a 34-14 winner over Notre Dame. St. Martinville and Westgate just went to the fourth quarter. Oakdale 44, Grand Lake 38, and Acadiana 63, Lafayette 12.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
Sterlington is a 46-6 winner over Carroll. Franklin Parish 42, Caldwell Parish 7. Haynesville 34-14 winner over Glenbrook. Gina 32, Winfield 20. West Monroe defeats Scotlandville 30-12. Brother Martin over Ouachita 31-13. Ruston a 29-26 winner over Lafayette Christian. And Northwood Shreveport 27, Huntington 12.
The North Shore Scoreboard, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Ponchatoula defeats Covington 31-12. North Shore over at Mandeville 23-16. Amite 39, Country Day 0. John Errett a 49-39 winner over Bogalusa. Fountain Blues a 35-34 winner over Hammond. North Lake Christian 23, Archbishop Hannon 10. St. Paul 28-7 winner over Slidell. And St. Thomas Aquinas 29, Loranger 28.
Thank you, Skip. Getting our scores tonight. If you're looking for a full scoreboard and you're watching us on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel,
what are you doing? You're bored. If you're watching this late.
Hey, we have a lot of people that tune in from all over the place.
Yeah, they
and
even Coach Esminger once told me he's going to bed tonight on us.
He's normally a loyal all-nighter.
Well, at least Jimmy's not hounding him. Come here!
Hey, we're efforting to get Coach Baugh on, but a nice win for Ruston and probably one of the biggest games in the state tonight over Lafayette Christian. 29-26 ends on a offensive pass interference call, but a tough night for Jujuwan Johnson. A couple of picks. He was pressured a lot. They put a lot of pressure on him, and we knew going into this contest. I mean, he had games with multiple touchdown passes. He can make plays with his legs. He can make plays with his arm. How are they going to, is it Ruston? Are you going to control the game on the ground and keep the ball out of his hands? But they seem to have done a good job tonight.
Well,
I think he had 20 touchdowns going into the game, right?
Jujuwan Johnson finished with 24 carries, 186 yards,
Oh,
one touchdown. He completed 16 of 31 passes for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns.
So if that's a bad night. That's not a bad
46.
night.
Well, here's where it comes into play. He had 5 interceptions.
Yep.
You hadn't seen that all year. I think I think he had one going into the game, and 2 of them
Pick six?
were pick six. And we knew going in Ruston won this game last year, 35-20. That game there turned on a pick six late in the first half, and then back-to-back onside kicks by Ruston to put that game away last year. We wondered whether Ruston could control the ball enough. We've been talking about Ruston needing to throw the football a little bit more than what they do. But in this game's a game where you want to run the football. They had a 9-minute, 30-second drive in the third quarter, but then they had a chance to put it away with a 4-minute drive in the fourth quarter and couldn't do it. And Ruston was able to come back and score. Lafayette Christian was able to come back and score. But when you get good pass rush against somebody as elusive as he is, you can get too far up the field if you don't stay in your lanes, and also if you don't contain him and push him back to the middle of the field and let him escape to the outside, he can hurt you, and that's what he was doing tonight.
I think you got to pick your poison, because I didn't realize. I think he's a pretty good thrower. Now, he was under pressure a lot tonight, but he was getting out, being able to use his feet. But I think he throws the ball pretty good.
Oh, he throws it really well. I mean, going into the night, he was 41 of 64, 726 yards, 10 touchdowns, and an interception. But I was talking with Coach Insminger earlier on the ride over here. It was halftime, and he'd called me to give me an update on it. And the one thing that I said to him, if he's good enough to beat you both ways, right? I agree. You agree with that? He's a good enough thrower or a good enough runner. But if I had to pick my poison, I'm going to make him beat me throwing the football and not running it. I'm going to make him sit in the pocket, especially with the defense that I have, and make him throw the football.
Because he's so hard to take down.
He's so hard. He's so elusive.
Yeah.
So if somebody was putting a lot of pressure on us and you were in the booth, you'd tell me to run what?
Yeah. If they're putting pressure, you got draws, you got screens.
There you go, right there.
And you got multiple
screens really
screens.
hurt Ruston in the first half because of exactly what you just said. Yeah. So they called screens, and they both went for big plays to get them back in that game, 14-12, and obviously Ruston made their adjustment.
Another game featuring a North Louisiana team and a team from closer to our neck of the woods. Newman over Manny tonight. Manny's defense not the same as last year. We know they had that young man. I can't think where USC committed to. Was a big part. Was a big part of that defensive backfield, but or linebacker rather. Newman playing a lot better as a team. We talked about. There's not. Talked to Paul Boron, who calls the games. He said that Coach Nelson talked about that. There was just so much of a relaxation on the team this year. Like
it's not a circus anymore.
Yeah.
It's not a circus.
It felt
anymore.
like a regular year.
And nothing. That's right. Yeah. And nothing about Arch. He deserves the credit, but it can get hectic. Yeah.
It's like he don't like that. I'm pretty sure he'd rather it be kind of a calm atmosphere too.
Manny jumped up 17-7 in this one, and then all of a sudden Newman turned it on and came back and went up. Actually, I think 49-17. And ended up 49-31. Eli Friend, the quarterback that replaces Arch Manning, he throws for 5 touchdowns and has a rushing touchdown tonight.
So they don't have a Manning, but they have an Eli.
They have a friend.
Yeah. They have a friend, and his name's Eli.
Oh, yeah. Very, very interesting score there. We'll take a timeout, and we'll get right back here to the Week 4 edition of Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care.
At Louisiana Turf Cleaning, our number one priority is athlete safety. We specialize in sanitizing and general cleaning maintenance of artificial turf sports fields. From the constant wear and tear on the field to the bacterial, mold, and viruses that get under those turf fibers, we take care of it all. We also remove any unseen metal in the turf that could potentially cut an athlete. For more information, call me, Kerry Myers, to get a quote today, 504-453-6950. And let Louisiana Turf Cleaning keep your playing surface safe, 504-453-6950.
Don't have time for a trampoline injury?
We don't have time for this today.
We're here with online check-in, so you can wait from anywhere. Plus, on-site digital x-rays. If you don't have time to be hurt, feel better faster with Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water, they can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor, so you stay right where you need to in casting lines, or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast? All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Step inside an Infiniti QX50, and you'll find a suite of driver-focused features tailored to your tastes. But most of all, you'll find luxury that lets you feel infinitely you. Visit your local Infiniti retailer today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And
this is Coach Brandon Brown, the head football coach and director at East St. John High School, and you're listening to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. Our walk-ons game of the week tonight featured East Ascension and Alexandria, Roman Empire type game, the Spartans and the Trojans. It was a 21-14 win for Coach Bachman and Alexandria. And honestly, Jimmy, in the first half of that ball game, slow moving. It was a defensive battle, and a situation where EA could have gone up 7-0 at half. An interesting call on that kickoff, and Ash got it at about the midfield point and was able to punch it in, and kind of think momentum kind of changed in that second half, but really slow moving until that late second quarter.
Both teams moved the ball fairly well from the 30 to the 30, and then both teams kind of couldn't punch it in, couldn't quite get into the red zone. But yeah, East Ascension took a 7-0 lead. They went to kick off. I don't know if it's a onside kick. It looked like one to me. This is with 2 minutes left in the half after they'd taken the lead. I don't know if he did that or he just hit it wrong, and it hit the up line, the lineman up on the front line.
He needs to go back to the soccer coach.
Yeah. Alexandria recovered it and went on and scored, made it 7-7. East Ascension took a 14-7 lead. Alexandria scored 2 late touchdowns, fourth quarter, to get the win. J.T. Lindsay had a really good night for Alexandria. 30 carries, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I thought that was a good game in the area. Estruma played Plaquemine close 20-15. Sandomal beating Opelousas 28-22. Kind of surprised me. Sandomal hadn't played anybody really, and they don't play anybody next week. We're the third to bottom team on the strength factor.
And Opelousas was returning like 17 starters from last year.
They returning everybody. St. Charles just continues to roll over De La Salle. De La Salle had won the last three out of the last 4. But St. Charles wins tonight 32-14, has an 11-game win streak now. Destrehan, that they just steamroll Hahnville again. They keep on winning. Curtis blows out Jesuit pretty good. Holy Cross in a shocker to me. They moved to 4-0. Rummel drops to 1-3. Rummel's only win was against U-High, and that was surprising. But Holy Cross wins 49-28 down there. Up north, of course, we talked about Lafayette Christian Ruston. Halton, the Brotherton Bowl. Parkway defeats Halton 24-6.
Was Carroll undefeated coming into tonight?
Yep.
Carroll was undefeated. Starlington beat them pretty bad. Brother Martin goes on the road to Ouachita to get a big win. St. Thomas More again defeats Catholic. Catholic drops to 1-3. St. Thomas More moves to 4-0. That game was even played. You look at the stats. Dixon McMahon sent us. McMakin. I'm sorry.
Not Ed McMahon.
Yeah, not Ed McMahon. Dixon McMakin sends us.
Long night.
It has been a long night. Sorry, Dixon. But the stats were pretty much even. It was a really good game. Turlings defeats Notre Dame 34-14. That's the third straight win for Turlings.
So something you and I were talking about on the way here, and we've discussed it on this show. Winning those 50-50 games that could have gone either way. You look at what happened last night where Dunham gets the win over Ascension Catholic 29-28, and you look back at the end of the season, you go, okay, what games did we win where it could have gone either way? For Catholic, that opener could have gone either way. Last week could have gone either way. This
week could have won either way.
So how many of those do you get under your belt? And it's tough. But it's those games, and when you look back at where you could have been seated, did you travel on here, and it comes down a lot of times to those 50-50.
I think one of the big things is Catholic has some issues to fix defensively. That going into tonight, they were giving up 38.3, and they gave up 35 tonight. So, before I know we're going to be getting out of here in a little bit, but Glen Oaks Stadium was named after Nolan Gill last night. Glen Oaks gets the win over Baton Rouge Collegiate. That was pretty cool for them to name that after Coach Gill.
Yep.
Carver forfeits the rest of their season. That's going to put Dutchtown having two bye weeks in a row, unless Dutchtown can find somebody. I have not talked to Custer Strader, but that's why you schedule 10 games instead of 9, especially with as many hurricanes that we have now that cancels games. You've had COVID cancellations, hurricanes, forfeits from fights. Schedule a 10-game schedule.
There's a difference between games being canceled, and games being forfeited.
Correct.
So tonight, Carver forfeited to JFK. So if it's forfeited next week to Dutchtown, Dutchtown still gets the win, but that almost ends up hurting you because you're only getting 10 points from a team. And at the end of the season, 10's around 31, 32 in the power rankings if they had that low.
And Dutchtown's playing so well right now.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you go to 2 weeks off, and then you're going to jump straight into district after that.
Well, we saw what happened with the different scenario, but where Zachary had that week off and they started a little slow against St. Aug and came back. When a game is a no contest, like we've seen unfortunately with the situation, thoughts and prayers absolutely with the team and the community at St. Helena. With no contest, I guess there's nothing issued.
There's nothing.
Nothing happened.
Okay.
Just like never was scheduled.
And in the case of earlier with Port Allen and Bruley, do you split points with the games in a tie?
I think it ends in a tie, yeah.
It ends in a tie, but PowerPoint-wise, does each team get 5?
I think so.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, we were discussing it. It's been an interesting start to the season with a lot of varieties of how games either didn't end or ended, et cetera.
So then the question would be, okay, if you got a forfeit, can you schedule another game? So could you technically have 2 games on one night? Yeah. I don't know.
I think you can. I would think so. I would think the LHSA would grant it. I think they would have to request it, grant it, and move the Carver game to a no contest. I mean, that would make common sense.
It seemed like they'd have the choice anyway.
Correct. West Side's a winner over Ocean Hill, 54-52.
Did they have any weather delays in Florida?
No, they played at West Palm Beach.
Oh, beautiful this time of year. Team
rich
Hotel.
people down there.
Yeah.
How about airline, man? I got to mention Ben Taylor last night. They win 60-35 over Benton. He throws 7 first-half touchdowns. He's thrown 22 touchdowns in the first 4 games.
They're scoring.
They're throwing. They are scoring. They're averaging 52.3.
I'm trying to look over some of the other Thursday night scores that stood out. Was Southern Lab?
Southern Lab won 60-35
Over Opelousas Catholic, yep. And Dunham won 29-28 over Ascension Catholic.
That's a big win for Neil. Neil's done a good job over there with Dunham. But one thing I asked, and I don't know what yard line they were on,
and I think,
but it was 29-28. There was an interception with 24 seconds left in the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Why not kick a field goal?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Just from the video I seen, and I couldn't see the yard line, it didn't look like it would have been a long one. Now I don't know the kicking situation.
We'll see you next week. This has been Louisiana Prep Scoreboard.
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.